I believe a societal or institutional fix to be absolutely impossible. I have no dreams of that. Just in the sense that I don't think there's any cop that thinks he's gonna be such a good cop, there won't be any more bad guys, right? It's not that kind of thing. But I think what we can do is, in leading CrossFit, I kind of got forced into this everyone, anyone distinction. And I'd had a journalist that was teeing off on me, about to hit me with this, you got to admit it's not for everyone. And as I've heard it so many times, I never had answers for it. And this time it just came out of my mouth. I said, yes, but it is for anyone. And the difference between everyone and anyone, we all know what everyone is. Anyone is he or she that rogers up and goes, I'm your person. And it got me to looking at the literary notion of everyman. It's a capital E. It's a somebody like St. Nick, everyman, right? And I think not enough has been made of any man, and that's a different kind of soul. And so I don't have anything for every man, but I have something for any man.
Yo, ready for a roller coaster? We're going back to the topic. I brought it up, I don't know, 2-3 months ago. I made the video where Don Fall is talking about we need 30 million CrossFitters. And I go, how do you define that? How do you just say, hey, we got 30 million CrossFitters now? It's not like you roll into a town and you go, oh, Downers Grove is 35,000 people. It's like, how do you know that? Well, you count the people in Downers Grove. How do you just look at the earth and count the CrossFitters? So I made a video on that. And I said that in order to be a CrossFitter, these are the 3 things that I think that you need to have. And then I made a tweet, or the tweets went into an Instagram post the other day. Those things were, you need to consider the things that you eat, put into your mouth. You need to be doing your workouts within a time domain and follow a clock. And then you need to feel vulnerable as you do those things. In other words, you can't just go on a walk. And if you do go on a walk every single day, this next day when you go on a walk, you got to say, hey, I'm going to walk really fast for as long as I can and see how that feels, because it's not something I usually do and you don't know what's going to happen at the end of that walk. You're making yourself vulnerable within that workout. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it's got to be outside of what you do typically. I turned this into an Instagram post and there's 1,000 different comments on here, but we're going to talk about one comment in particular, and it's your job to be freaking nice to this person.
Oh, what a great idea.
Because if it's not for this person in this comment, there is no video here for me to make.
Yep.
And if everyone is a dick to the people that I make these videos on who are giving me these comments, then they're going to stop commenting. So don't be a dick to this person or I'll come freaking knock your head off.
Will you help me? You will? Great.
Anyway, this person's name is Karita. Karita says, please don't gatekeep CrossFit. People come to CrossFit with different goals to get different things out of it. You got 59 likes. People agree with it, Karita has to say, and then she follows it up with a statement saying that showing up makes you a CrossFitter. And I'm wearing my Just Show Up shirt. I think this is the Get With The Programming shirt. It's got Pukey, this little clowny here. There's no dress on this Pukey. So I read that, and I think I disagree. That's what I said. I said, hey, Karita, I just don't agree, but can you tell me more about why it is that you think this? Karita graciously responds. So again, be freaking nice. She says that, hi, all the things that you list are ways to improve, but I think the inclusivity that CrossFit brings is more important. People should feel as if they belong, even if they don't feel uncomfortable during workouts or aren't tracking macros. CrossFit should push inclusivity in order to grow.
Is that what you think? You think?
I don't agree with that either. It made me want to make an entire video off of it. And we can still disagree with things and live in the same universe without knocking each other's heads off.
Yep.
So Karita, CrossFit should push inclusivity in order to grow. This is where I want to bring up something that I've brought up in a video over the past 600. I went to Catholic school growing up. Every single year up and through 8th grade, I went to church 3 or 4 times a week because it's what we did at Catholic school.
Wow.
And the portion of that education that I'm going to talk about right here are the 10 Commandments. I'm going to keep this brief just in case you hate it. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother, all that sort of stuff. And the thing that I want to bring up here is, I think a lot of people went through this, and me in particular as a Catholic school boy. Pokemon. You play it on the Game Boy, and you got the Game Boy, you're like, oh, this thing's great. Need new batteries. I keep going through batteries. Mom and Dad, new batteries. I keep killing the Game Boy.
It doesn't matter!
And then your best friend gets a new Game Boy. It's a little bigger, it's got a color screen, and you're thinking, that's cool. And also, now the games are better on this new Game Boy, and you're looking at it, and you go,
wow,
I want one of those. Maybe you don't want their Game Boy, you're not going to steal it, because that would also be breaking one of the 10 Commandments. But the fact that you want that Game Boy now because they have one, isn't that challenging your Catholic beliefs to be wanting a Game Boy because somebody else has one? And then you think about it, and you go, no, I can't want that Game Boy. I don't want a Game Boy, because if I want the Game Boy, I'm going to go to hell. And whether or not these are things that you believe in, I think that it is one of the bases of the Catholic religion to think that there is a portion in there that if it weren't for the fact that these rules are in place, giving people like me in 5th grade that sort of a feeling about what was happening, what does it mean to follow and believe in anything? There are these rules in place that make you the person that you are as a Catholic person. What is it, shame?
Leave me alone.
You should be ashamed of yourself, you sinful little creature!
If you want to do some of these things, you feel shameful about it, so it keeps you from doing it.
The shame wizard!
Because no matter how much you want to be the perfect human being, let me bring up the 10 Commandments. Let's see. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Everybody has said some stuff to their parents that they regret. Everybody has done that. Go to bed. No, you didn't honor thy father and mother. You did something where you didn't agree. It was so simple as that. Remember to keep holy the Lord's Day, Sunday. Is there a day on a Sunday where you've done work or haven't gone to church for some reason or another? That's the third one. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. I've done that. Does that mean that I'm no longer a Catholic? Or do you look at that, don't take the Lord's name in vain, you say it, and then you feel bad about it?
Shame!
You do something on Sunday, and then you feel bad about it. You say or disagree with your parents, and you don't honor thy father and mother, and then you feel bad about it. It's the sheer fact that there is a shame behind the things that you do that now determine what you are. So when I make a video that has 3 things that make you a CrossFitter, and then I make a follow-up Instagram post on those 3 things that make you a CrossFitter, and then you have the founder of CrossFit saying that it is for anyone, but it is not for everyone. It's just like the freaking Catholic religion. Let's say that you want to be a thief who sleeps with your freaking neighbor's wife, and then you want to steal your neighbor's stuff, and then you want to kill people, and then you want to disagree with your parents, and then you don't want to do things on Sunday that have anything to do with church. You can't be a Catholic schoolboy. All of those things, you look at that person, you can't identify as someone who is a Catholic. No, you can't do it. So when I put up the thing that says, if you do not pay close attention to what you put in your mouth, or you're not a CrossFitter, it doesn't mean that you can't have a crumble cookie. It doesn't mean that you can't have a pizza. It doesn't mean that you can't eat whatever you want. But when you do those things, you better damn well know that you are doing things that go against your beliefs. You're not eating meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, little starch and no sugar. You're not following the CrossFit model when you eat like crap. So when I say pay close attention, it doesn't mean that you only have to exclusively do those things, but if you're not doing those things, you better think, well, let's get back on track tomorrow. If you're never pushing yourself in your workouts, it doesn't mean that it's not a good workout. Just because I'm not any longer a Catholic person because I haven't gone to church on Sunday in a long time doesn't mean that I just am a bad person by nature. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you don't push yourself in your workouts, but if you never do it, you're not a CrossFitter. I'm not saying every single workout you gotta put yourself up against the clock, but there were people in the comment sections who were pointing out the fact that if you're lifting weights and you're doing a snatch and clean and jerk, does that mean that you're not doing CrossFit? And I go, yes, thank you, Dave Castro, for just today putting up a workout on CrossFit.com, which is 5 rounds for Cindy, 5 minutes to build to a deadlift, and then 5 rounds of Cindy. That middle one, you're lifting a weight and you're doing it against a clock. In my program today, I did this completely on accident. I put it there for a reason, but I didn't do it in relation to this video because the video topic came up after I had created the workouts, and it's 8 minutes to build to a snatch, and then it's 8 minutes to build to a clean and jerk. They're done in a window, up against the clock, and that's CrossFit. You do those things and you hold yourself to those standards, because if in that 8 minutes you want to keep going, you can't just keep going. You're done. 8 minutes. The clock said so. You're a CrossFitter. You listen to the clock. And this is about the point where everyone's going to go, Andrew, you're off your rocker. Andrew, you're bringing up the Catholic religion. You're comparing it to CrossFit. And also, like, you can't just say this based off of one Greg Glassman quote from something where he wasn't any longer at the helm of CrossFit. He's doing the broken science thing. He's referencing something, but he is the person who created the methodology. The same way that the Bible came out. The Bible is there. It's been there for however long. It's been there since the dawn of time. It's sold the most copies out of any book ever. And you follow the Bible. They don't change the Bible based upon the way that people think about things now. It is what it is. People can interpret that different way, but it is still the Bible. Someone didn't come along and say, well, we want to include more people in our religion, so now all of a sudden we got to remove this clause in the Bible that is, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, because Andrew felt bad about his Game Boy when he was 4 years old. We don't want to make Andrew feel bad. Sometimes you need to feel bad about the crappy stuff that you do. It doesn't make you a bad person. They're called morals, ideals. That's the entire reason reason you do anything. And wait, if you want to keep on the fact that it's like, the CrossFit isn't a religion, CrossFit, it changes, we can change things.
Is that what you think? You think?
It's like, all right, you think we can change things. How about these journal articles that weren't written by Glassman? I got one up over here that says CrossFit is for everyone. And then I have this person responding to this that says that CrossFit is not for everyone. Going into what this person thinks that it means, it's written by Craig Nelson, says it is DISGFB, which stands for drenched in sweat, gasping for breath. They said that in order to be a CrossFitter, you have to be these things, and actually puts it on their affiliate's website. We have this other CrossFit affiliate, Rhapsody Fitness. CrossFit is for anyone and not for everyone. We have this other place. It is Landmark Strength and Barbell Club that says CrossFit is for anyone and not for everyone. There are people who are reiterating this message that they have seen from freaking Greg Glassman. And if you don't want me to stop there, how about this one with the Scott Panchik, CrossFit Games athlete, who put up that little bit from my initial video saying that he was vulnerable, doing things against the clock, and he was doing it after having had his meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, little starch and no sugar. He was following my made-up freaking guidelines for downfall to see what a 30 million CrossFit ecosystem looks like. But he is doing it.
Hiller says you got to set a clock, so we got to make sure we set a timer here for today. And I want you guys to know that I'm extremely vulnerable right now because I've never done this before. What's the last thing he said? Clock, vulnerability. Oh, lean meats, fruits and veggies, little starch, no sugar. Let's go.
Lean meat.
Lean meat.
With these people in his affiliate CrossFit mentality saying that CrossFit is for everyone, but it's not for anyone. You have to follow some sort of a thing. You can't just show up. Showing up is the first thing in order to become a Catholic schoolboy. You gotta go to Catholic school. You gotta say that, hey, I'm gonna start learning about these things. I have to start learning about what it means to be doing constantly varied functional movements performed at a high intensity. I have to learn how to play new sports and do all that stuff. Follow fitness in 100 words. That's the easiest way to find what CrossFit is. If you don't want mine, you can go look at what CrossFit is in 100 words. And you might say, Andrew, these people are old school. You're thinking, Scott Panchik, yeah, he's coming from the regime of the games athletes. He's got an affiliate, whatever, those other affiliates, we've never heard of them. Greg Glassman stuff, you're pulling out of your butt. He's in broken science now. Okay, you want to disagree with everything that I have to say. How about CrossFit itself, which tweeted or X'd on January 27th at 6:05 p.m. in the year 2023. 91,000 views this tweet got. It's been said that CrossFit is not for everyone, but it is for anyone. Not everyone will want to put in the work, but for those who do, the results will follow. This is from CrossFit's Twitter X account within the past freaking, I don't know what, 6, 7, 8 months. How long ago was January? But it is from this year. And ironically enough, January 27th, there's someone who makes a freaking comment that says, amen to that.
Hallelujah, brother!
Taylor Foose, it's for anyone that wants to work at it. And then we have this person who goes, HB, I love when CrossFit gaslights people. And god damn do I hate that word, gaslighting. What does that mean, gaslight? Urban Dictionary. A form of intimidation or psychological abuse, sometimes called ambient abuse, where false information is presented to the victim, making them doubt their own memory, perception, and quite often their sanity. The classic example of gaslighting is to switch something around on someone that you know they're sure to notice, but then deny knowing anything about it, and then explain that they must be imagining things when they challenge these changes. So this person says that CrossFit, the Twitter page, is gaslighting people. And they said it with a little heart emoji thing, with a little hugging, smiling facing heart emoji. So I wonder if this is a good form of gaslighting, but I've always heard that word with a negative connotation. Everyone always wants to say, oh, stop gaslighting me. Oh, stop gaslighting that person. Oh, you're a gaslighter. What a bad individual. But was I being gaslit when I was a freaking 5th grader and I wanted a Game Boy? I don't think so. I shouldn't want my neighbor's stuff. I should be happy with the things that I've got. I shouldn't covet thy neighbor's freaking wife. I should be nice to my parents. And perhaps it's on the person who is being gaslit to understand that they don't need to listen to people who are trying to tell them to do or do not do things. Maybe, just maybe, that person who is gaslighting you is for everyone, but it is not for anyone. And if you don't like the way that they're treating you, go away from that person. Just leave. You don't like CrossFit? Don't be a CrossFitter. That's fine. But don't make CrossFit for everyone, because it isn't for everyone, but it is for anyone. And that's all I got to say about that. Andrew Hiller, out.
Please smash that like button. No one told you they're now.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. Just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success, while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!